Hi guys, how's it going? In today's video, I want to talk about roses. So we recently did a video, I hope you guys saw it. It was about hydrangeas, specifically hardy hydrangeas that are really easy to grow. So really good if you've never had good luck with them or if you have a really tough growing situation. And I kind of want to do the same thing with today's video. So I have 13 varieties of roses I want to share with you guys, all of which are from proven winners. And I'm sure that all of you are aware of by this time that we have a really good relationship with proven winners. We work with them a lot. I use a lot of their plants in my own garden here, as well as in a lot of other projects like city projects and things like that. So as I'm researching and planning what I want to put in my own garden, I'm learning a lot. So I thought it'd be fun to pass that information on to you guys. And if nothing else, you'll just get to see a bunch of really pretty pictures. So like I said, there are 13 different varieties, all of which are grown on their own root. And if you've never heard that term before, own root, let me kind of back up a little bit. So roses can be grown a couple of different ways that I'm aware of. First off, you could take a cutting off of a rose and then you can pot that cutting up and let it create roots on its own, and that means it's grown on its own root. So whatever you see above the ground growing and the roots below it are all the same variety of plant. The other way is you can take that cutting and graft it onto the roots of a different type of rose. And I'm not sure if this is a quicker way to do it or what really the specific reason is for it, but that means that the roots below the plant are different than what you're seeing growing above. So if you have a really cold winter or a cold snap that kind of like kills your plant back down below that graft, it will not grow back the same variety that you bought. It'll grow back whatever variety that rootstock is. So anyway, all 13 of these varieties are grown on their own root. They're not grafted with something else. So I'm just gonna kind of go through this list of 13 pretty quick. I wanna share like some really vital information about them, show you some really pretty pictures of what they look like. The first one is called At Last, and we did a video spotlighting this specific variety last fall because I love it so much. I planted 6 of them in my garden. They're a beautiful, deep kind of apricot color. When it's a little cooler out, they get almost kind of like a light pink tint to them. It's my color, like it's what I love to see in my garden. They're a zone 5 through 9. They grow about 2.5 to 3 feet tall and wide, and they have a bunch of things going for them. So they kind of take like really nice features of a bunch of different types of roses and combine them all into one plant. So they stay compact, which means you don't have to prune them. They have a really wonderful fragrance, which a lot of landscape roses, like modern ones, don't have that fragrance that we like really want to have in our roses. They're disease resistant, so you don't have to spray them, and they keep on blooming whether or not you deadhead them or not. Really, deadheading is more of an aesthetic thing for this specific type of rose. You can do it just to make your plant look a little cleaner if that's what you like. It's something that I like to do, but you don't have to in order for it to keep blooming. It'll bloom about midsummer all the way through frost. The next one is Living La Vida, and this is one I don't have in my garden yet, but I'm hoping to get my hands on this year. It's got double flowers that are big. They're kind of a tropical pink color, and they really play well with all the other colors that I kind of lean toward putting in my garden, like purples and blues, light yellows and whites. They're just all soft and just really look good together. It's a zone 5 through 9 and grows about 2.5 to 3 feet tall and wide, so it's really easy to tuck in, kind of like the At Last rose. You don't have to have like a gigantic area for it. The foliage on this one is really striking. It's a really deep green and very glossy, so it's just a really pretty foliage. It's a really pretty texture and foliage to have in the garden. The next 11 roses are all part of a series called Oh So Easy, and they all have a few things in common. They're very vibrantly colored. They continuously bloom all through the season, and they have really good cold and heat tolerance. So all of these varieties are hardy either down to zone 4 or 3, and I'll tell you for each one of them. And it's kind of hard to find roses that are that cold tolerant. So for those of you in cold areas, these are a great pick for you. So the first 3 are red, but they all have something a little bit different. First variety is called Oh So Easy Double Red. It's a zone 4 through 9 and grows about 3 to 4 feet tall and wide. So they have fully double red flowers that are held high above the plant, like with long stems. So really great for cut arrangements, but they just make for either a great specimen plant, or you can use them in a hedge for a really striking, colorful spot in your garden because they bloom for almost the entire season, and they don't require much care. They just like a lot of sun. Next is Oh So Easy Urban Legend. This one is also a zone 4 through 9, and it grows about 2.5 to 3 feet tall and wide. This is a true red rose, but what makes it unique is that the anthers in the center of each rose are bright yellow. So it kind of gives you this bicolor, red, yellow, really striking effect, and it blooms for many months out of the year. And this is a really good variety for really hard conditions. So if you have areas that are really dry and hot, this is a great variety for that. And the third red variety is called Oh So Easy Cherry Pie. And this one has really sweet cherry red single blooms all over on it. It's a zone 4 through 9, grows about 2 to 4 feet tall and wide. And this one also has really pretty glossy foliage. You don't have to prune it and you don't have to spray it because it's very disease resistant. Next up is Oh So Easy Peachy Cream. This is one that I really like. It's a zone 3 through 9, so very cold tolerant. Grows about 1 to 3 feet tall and wide. And this is one that starts with like a soft orange bloom that kind of fades to a peach color, which I absolutely love. It's kind of along the same lines as the At Last rose, and it pairs really well with things like purple salvia, catmint, for kind of that cottage garden feel. Next is Oh So Easy Pink Cupcake, and this one has really large semi-double blooms, and they bloom all through the summertime, really glossy foliage. Zone 4 through 9 for this variety, and it grows about 2 to 4 feet tall and wide. The next is called Oh So Easy Paprika, and this is a really neat one. It only grows about 1 to 2 feet tall and wide, so it's kind of a versatile ground cover type rose. It's a zone 3 through 9, so extremely cold hardy again. And this one has a very unique color. It's a yellow and orange, and this one has been out for I think over 10 years, and it's still a bestseller. And then there's Oh So Easy Hot Paprika, which is also a 1 to 2 foot grower, zone 3 through 9, but it's got intense, like bright electric orange blooms on it. So it's just a little bit more of an intense version of your paprika, but you have the same cold tolerance, same disease resistance, and it's very easy care. Next is Oh So Easy Lemon Zest, and this one has beautiful yellow, just sunny blooms on it that don't fade. And I guess they had to trial dozens of yellow roses to find one that wouldn't fade, that just really stood out. And this one does. So it's a zone 4 through 9, goes 2 to 3 feet tall and wide, has a very dense habit with glossy foliage and just full of those beautiful yellow blooms. And then there's Oh So Easy Mango Salsa, which is just a really uniquely colored rose. It's a zone 4 through 9, grows about 1 to 3 feet tall and wide. So I guess you could kind of consider it a ground cover type rose if it stays on the short end, but it has very pretty kind of orange pinkish colored blooms and really pretty foliage. Next is Oh So Easy Italian Ice, and this one is very unique in that it's got so many different colors. Like, I don't know if there's 4 or 5 colors, but we've got like pink, peach, kind of a soft yellow, creamy white, and they kind of change depending on if it's a little cooler out or warmer. It's just beautiful, and I actually have a few of them in my greenhouse ready to be put out in the garden as soon as it warms up enough to plant them, and I'm so looking forward to seeing what they're going to do. They're a zone 4 through 9, and they grow about 1.5 to 2.5 feet tall and wide, so super easy to tuck into the landscape if you've got a sunny spot. They'll love it, and I guess they are unstoppable in the flower department, so I'm really looking forward to seeing that. And the last one is called Oh So Easy Petite Pink, and this one is a zone 4 through 9, grows about 1.5 to 2.5 feet tall and wide. It's actually an improved version of the Fairy. So if you're familiar with that variety, it's a deeper color, it's got a whole zone better in the cold hardiness department. And it's the one that blooms the latest into autumn. Oftentimes you'll see it like in November with frost on the blooms, and it's still going. So those are the 13 varieties, and I think each one of them has something very unique and interesting about it. So anyway, I hope this video isn't too long. I hope that it was interesting to you, and maybe that you learned about a new variety or found one that you want to put in your own garden this year. So thank you guys so much for hanging out, watching this video today, and we will see you in the next one. Bye.